This is the Ourvoice 360 podcast, our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. This podcast was created with you in mind. On Ourvoice 360, we'll give you inspiration, sports, business and leadership tips, Black history, and entertainment. This is a show built from our perspectives. So if you're ready to be entertained, inspired, laugh a little, be informed, and enlightened, tune in now to Ourvoice 360. Let's go! Hey, and welcome to our show, Ourvoice 360, our perspectives, our ways. I'm your man, Chad Bumgarner, 1/3 of the trio here. I have with me my man, Pete Hunt.
What's good, family?
And my man, Mike Brown, the Don Dada.
Blessings, blessings.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and get into it.
And as always, our show is sponsored by Elect Graphics and Photography. Allow your visions to become reality. And CDB Consulting, great leaderships equals great results. How are you leading? And if you would like to contact us to be a sponsor or just to hit us up to let us know how you feel about the show, you can always send us an email at ourvoice360@gmail.com and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Mike, right. Come on with it.
Today, talk about understanding your impact.
Okay.
I think that's something that a lot of people don't really think about. When you think about your legacy, normally you're thinking of your family members, your children. Mm-hmm. But understand this, you are a part of everybody you've ever came in contact with. Mm-hmm. Whether it be a mentor, whether it be the barbershop, somebody gave you a jewel, a nugget that you never forgot. So with that being said, understand that the people that come into your life, you're also coming into their life. So let's be positive. Let's make it a teaching moment, if at all possible. And that's it.
That's big. Yeah. Wow. I can't remember who it was years ago that told me that, you know, you have to always be mindful of how you speak to people, how you act in public, what you do, what you say, because you never know who may be watching. And along with that, watching you is impacting them. Mm-hmm. Especially the way you may handle certain situations in your life. There may be some things that other people are going through, and you may be the biggest impact on how they address things in their lives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're cool, calm, collective, if you are a person who is not quick to mouth off, but to remain patient, cool-headed, seek godly counsel, you know, calculated with your steps. A lot of people, man, how did he come out of that situation? How did she endure that situation? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? How you present yourself and how you treat people and talk to people has major impact on others, whether you know it or not. You may know that some people are watching you, but I guarantee you there's 10 times more that are watching you that you don't know. Mm-hmm. So I agree, Mike. That's a word right there, the impact. That is very, very big. And you hear a lot of people, a lot of entertainers especially saying, you know, I'm not a role model. That's a cop-out to me. Because whether you're an entertainer, whether you're a blue-collar worker, whether you're a CEO, whether you're a trash collector, everybody is a role model.
Yeah, everybody needs to be accountable.
Right. Yeah. Everybody needs to be held accountable and to conduct themselves in a productive and positive and mature manner, because we have youngins that we're bringing up.
That's right.
Ones we see and ones we don't see. And we can't be mad at how they act and respond when they were only looking at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of the old school commercial. We are old enough to remember. I learned it by watching you, Dad. You remember that commercial, the drug
Yeah.
commercial back in the day when the father said, son, why do you have these drugs in your room, and why are you taking drugs? And he told him, I learned it by watching you.
Yeah.
That was always a very big commercial that I thought that got overlooked because, just like you're saying, Mike, we have to be responsible in how we are perceived.
Yeah.
In the world. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Some people out here could care less about how they're perceived, but if you have any pride within yourself, you should care about how you are perceived in this world. And hopefully that is positive. It's a positive perception. I work with a lot of young people, and that's one of the first things I tell them. Somebody's always watching you. Whether it's a basketball recruiter, or whether it's a teacher, or it's your classmates.
Yeah.
Somebody is always watching you, so always put your best foot forward.
Right.
I remember one of back when I was at Newton Conover, and I was coaching at Newton, and one of my JV players asked me, Coach Hunt, why do you always wear a suit on the sideline when you coach? He said, nobody else. He said, we don't see anybody else wear suits on the sideline. I told him, I said, my father always told me, be prepared for the job you want. I said, it might be an NBA scout or NBA coach that just happened to just walk in here and just see me on the sideline coaching. And if I'm not dressed for the part, he may overlook me.
Exactly.
But if he comes in the gym, or a college coach comes in the gym, say he's looking at one of our players, and he sees me coaching my JV team or whatever, I'm suited and booted. That guy's a professional.
Yes, sir.
He's a professional. He's just a JV coach, but he's doing this in a professional manner. That's right. What, and I told him, I said, that's what you need to be doing. I said, you don't have to wear a suit to school every day. That's not what I'm saying. I said, but you must present yourself in a positive light in front of these teachers, in front of the principal, in front of the vice principal, and even, like I said, and even your classmates, because you can affect how they think about you. Just the way you carry yourself can affect one of your classmates to say, oh, man, I see how Bobby is looking. I see how Bobby does his schoolwork. Man, I want to be just like Bobby.
Right.
I want to follow, you know what I'm saying? So we always have to be with the mindset of how we appear to people and what we put in front of people. Because what do they say? Your first impression is a lot. Yeah. Your first impression is lasting, Chad. You're right. People feel you out on the first impression they get of you. And if it's something nasty or if it's negative or nasty or something like that, it's hard to shake. I mean,
like I tell a lot of young college students that I mentor, I tell them the same thing. People's perception, 95% of the time, is their reality. So what they see, automatically they assume that's what it is. You know what I mean? And it's like you're saying, man, you gotta be suited and booted.
Yeah.
You gotta be ready.
Yeah, and growing up, my dad told me and my cousins and everybody about
all the kids he coached, including me.
What'd you say?
I said, including all the kids he coached, including me.
I know, right?
Including me in the brown pen.
I know, right? That man touched a lot of folk, boy. Woo-wee.
Yes, sir.
But he always told us as a family unit, as the Hunt family, our last name means. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can even take it that far as your last name.
He said, "What now? Your last name means something."
Your last name means something.
That's right.
Take pride in your last name. That's because right. we all know some folk families with last names that when you say their last name, you like oh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're not gonna mention no family names or anything, but we all know families' last names that when you think about their last name, you're like, oh shoot. Yeah. Oh man. And that's
or you think, good people.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's a generational thing. That's a
That's it.
that's a generational thing because you set your family up for success or failure. How people look at you.
That's right. That's right.
That family with a bad name in the community, they can have a grandchild, great grandchild, straight A student, graduated summa cum laude, all of this other stuff, but they've set a precedent with their last name, and they say, I don't care what they do in school or whatever, in business or whatever,
They
they
still up
still
blank.
are blank.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just that's some of the nuggets. My dad, of course, my uncles, told us growing up, your last name, not only you individually, but if you mess up our last name.
Yeah.
You know what, Pete? That's so important because I tell my daughters, and I'm like, I tell them all the time. Even my wife kind of gets with me, but I said, don't mess up our last name. I mean,
Bruh.
because my thing is, when you look at it, anything you physically possess, it can be taken away from you just as quick as you.
Yep.
The only thing you got is your word and your name. That's
And your
all
name.
we have in this world. And
That's
I tell my daughters, I say, don't screw up and embarrass the family name. That's all we got.
That's all we got.
That is all we got. So when somebody says your last name, or they say the Bumgarners, or Chad Bumgarner, or Kari, or whoever Bumgarner, you want people to be like, oh, okay, good people.
Them some good people. Them some good people.
I'm gonna tell you something that's funny. Okay. So my oldest son, was at a job, and the owner of the company came to him, gave him a chance of a lifetime for something. You know what I'm saying? And when my son called me, I said, you know what? It's because you're a Brown. You're a Brown, bro. That don't happen for everybody. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I mean, man. Hey.
I'm telling just I mean, and if you're in a situation where you do have a quality last name and you do have a great last name, and
you gotta stand up to that thing,
bruh. When somebody comes to you, especially me, and I feel so prideful, man. And sometimes I get home and I want to cry because when somebody say, man, you know how great your daddy is. You know how important your father was to me in my life.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm just like, and I'm kind of getting emotional right now, but the feeling that gives, you know what I'm saying, of somebody that your father and his last name impacted people or a person to the point where they have to tell you, your father meant something to me. I have people on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, hit me up out of the blue. Man, how your daddy doing, man?
Yeah.
Man, your daddy's a great man. Your daddy was so great. Your daddy was such a foundational piece to me in my life, whether it was coaching or just speaking a word to him. Man,
your dad, I'm gonna tell you something. Your father, to this day, when I see your daddy,
please say his name.
Forrest Hunt. When I see Forrest Hunt,
thank you.
I'm standing tall.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't never been a what's up to Forrest Hunt. It's a handshake. How you doing,
sir?
Pull me in for the love. You know what I mean, bruh?
It's certain people on this earth.
I got chill bumps thinking about that thing now.
I do too, but there's certain people that you meet and learn from. That just like what Mike said, whenever you see them out and about, your back automatically gets taller.
Bruh,
yes,
oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
it doesn't happen for everybody. And that's the testament to Forrest Hunt's wisdom and knowledge and the seeds that he's planted, like many men have planted.
Yes, sir.
Over the years.
Yeah. I mean, Chad, your father. I mean, it's just it's something when, like you said, Mike, when your name, and I know we've kind of gotten off the subject of what Mike was talking about, but
no, we still talking about impact. Because people.
But when your people don't understand, when your name carry weight, positive weight.
Yeah.
When it carry positive weight, it opens doors that normally wouldn't be open, Mike. Just like with your son. Just like with your son. Your last name, Michael Brown, opened up a door of opportunity for your oldest son.
And then I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not trying to cut you off. When he got the position, how about the guy in there that was working with him? I graduated high school with him. He said, "You know what? I love your daddy." He said, "Boy, your daddy's something." You know what I'm saying? It's no better feeling than your child coming to tell you, "You know what? Such and such said they know you." And a smile is all on their face.
But you know what I'm saying? With that is pressure, but responsibility, and I lost my word. I lost the word I was looking for. But at the same time, when you hear about that from other people about an uncle or dad or mom coming from that family line, it's tremendous pressure in one aspect because you don't want to mess that up. But it's also tremendous opportunity.
Yeah.
For your future to go forward and continue keeping that name valuable and pristine and continuing to have that name hold weight and be valuable.
Because automatically people expect you. They expect you to be a certain way.
There's an Mike.
The expectation, bro.
Yes.
That's a word. That is a word, Mike Brown.
Expectation. You're right.
There is an expectation. I'm telling you, Chad, your daughters, when your daughters go out here, they at the track meets, they in school or whatever, you have set a precedent. You have set a precedent in front of them that they know in your area, in your community. Okay, that's Chad Bumgarner's girls. We know what to expect from them.
Yeah.
That's Ruth Brown's son. We know what to expect from him.
We'll get pulled to the side before anybody else will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pete, come here, let me talk to you, baby.
Let me holler at you.
I know your mama. Now, you know Miss Priscilla ain't going for that.
Woo!
Everybody else wilding. You over there with the hush mouth because she done pulled you to the side. They pulled your coattail, as they say.
Not only that, you got some elders that'll pull you to the side and make you remember your name. Now, you know
yes, sir.
Do that. Bumgarners don't do that. You know them some good people. Don't the Bumgarners don't do that. The Hunts don't.
Same ones that lay their hands on you.
That's foundational. That's the foundation that the people that was behind you, your father, mother, grandmother, grandfather, they set that up because if it wasn't for them setting that standard, setting a standard for your family, people wouldn't expect anything from you. Boy, Mike, when you said that expectation thing.
Yeah, that wrapped up right there.
Boy, because I can only speak for Hunts. I can only speak for my family and what my last name means to me and how we are viewed in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
We are expected to be a certain way.
Yeah,
and if you're not that way,
if you out of that expectation, then you will quickly snatch back.
And I don't care how old you get.
Right.
Your mom and daddy will get a call.
They sure will.
Yeah.
We saw Pete at X, Y, and Z. Hold on now. Why was he here, there, and everywhere? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they know it's you. They got the tag number. You can't even lie about it.
Hey, check this out. I got a call from my mother. This was, matter of fact, this was early this year when track season was first starting, right before COVID hit. And I got a call from my mother. Now, y'all know I live down here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Somebody up in Hickory, North Carolina called my mother and was like, I saw your grandbaby on social media running up and down that track. She said, oh, look at Chad. She said, now I know that's Chad's daughter right there. That's them Bumgarners right there. And then my mama called me and told me about it because I used to put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Put their track meet with their events or whatever on Instagram. And I would get phone calls from my mom and then sometimes from people from Hickory. And they were like, so is she getting letters yet? This girl is in elementary. They talking about letters from colleges. Is she getting letters yet? No, she's not getting no letters. But it goes back to expectations.
That's right.
There you go.
When they realized whose daughter it was, They already, like Pete said, they expecting
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
because of that name.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times back in the day in Clemens Barbershop.
Oh my
Woo.
goodness. Oh my goodness. We're taking it back.
When
We're
people
taking it
found
back,
out
baby.
who I was, and they're like, "Oh, your daddy Doug or Donald?" And my daddy's Doug.
Mm.
Ooh, you fast like your daddy, boy. First thing come out their mouth.
Bruh.
First thing come out their mouth.
Bruh.
First thing.
He-
One or two
look.
things gonna come out their mouth. You fast like your daddy, boy. And then the next thing will be like, so you a deacon too?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Doug's a good man. Doug's a good man. You a deacon too? You don't understand that growing up. But as you get older, like you say, you start to see. And then it's like, look, I'm not my daddy, I'm me. And that's the youth talking in you.
Yeah.
As you
Yeah.
grow
Yeah.
up, it is a proud opportunity to
Dad.
take
Oh
on
my.
that mantle that your father
Oh.
or mother put on you. Be like, you know
Oh
what, son,
man.
my time is running nigh.
Mm.
It's time for you to take, and it's and when you're younger, you're like, that's your day. I'm different. I'm not like, but as you get older, you're like, my pleasure. I hope I can do it as much service as you did.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah,
that's my only prayer.
and like you said, Chad, as a youngster, my it's the same way with my dad. I remember
know.
we were at a me and Pop, you know, we go to games and especially basketball games together. You know, we thick as thieves, and we'll go back, you know, back before COVID or whatever. And it was actually a couple years ago. It was a big high school game. It was Hickory High playing. I can't even remember. It might have been Freedom or something. Just big game. You know,
Yeah.
Hickory High pack. So of course, me and Pop rolling through and walking through, and everybody is like, "Hey, Paul," because you know my dad don't get out much. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know, my dad is not one to just just show up at the spot
Yeah.
unless it's with me. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And everybody was like, "Hey, Foz," and I'm like, my daddy was really like the man up in here.
Still
I
is.
mean, exactly. And then
Legendary.
yeah, legend, man, my daddy a legend. I ain't even going front. My daddy, I know, right? My daddy a legend. Forrest Hunt is a legend. But anyway, I just like to brag on my daddy. It's just something I
Ain't
like.
Well,
no wrong
too.
with that. You know
And-
what? As long
Oh.
as you spitting facts, ain't nothing we can say. And you
We were-
spit 100% facts.
And we know your daddy.
And we know your daddy. I was with your daddy at the Houston Oilers, Pee Wee League.
Chad,
I know
look,
you
hold on, Chad. I still got
with the
a
little mini fro.
yeah, bro, I still got a picture in my Houston Oilers uniform. We was on that team together, dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
but anyway, back to the story. A dude, a guy that he played ball with back in the day, and we sat down beside him, and he was like, I was sitting between him and my daddy, and he was like, "Do you realize how good your daddy was on the basketball court?" And I was like, "Nah, tell me, because I know it boosts my daddy. I know it boosts my daddy up when he hear his stories."
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, "Nah, tell me." And he went to running down how he was like, to him, the best player in Hickory, or this, that, and the third, and yada yada yada. And just to feel that pride of, that's how people feel about my father. That's how people feel about Forrest Hunt. And the pride that, he laid a foundation that I had to adhere to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was a standard I had to adhere to as his son. And thank God that I was smart enough to follow in those footsteps and not act the fool and cut the monkey and act wild because of
Pass the
him.
torch.
Because
Pass the torch.
Because he ingrained in us, especially the young men, of course, my female cousins too, but especially the boys. You have something to uphold.
That's right.
Your name means something. You have something to uphold, man. And like you said earlier, Chad, just that pressure of living up to that name, but also having that pride that name means that much to people.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, we could be on this whole podcast talking about that, man.
We
Good.
have.
Great. I know, right? Look, I know my daddy gonna be watching this podcast later on tomorrow.
We love you, Forrest.
I love you, Pop. I love you, Pop.
The legendary Forrest Hunt.
That's my
All
dog,
right,
man.
folks. We are changing the format. You know we had to. We have to do it. I am so sorry, but we got to talk about the buffoonery that happened 48 hours ago. Was it about 48 hours ago, y'all?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Somewhere.
About 48,
If
56.
you don't know, we are talking about the foolishness, the ignorance, the childishness of the debate that happened the other night between President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. You know, I've been looking at a lot of news lately, and I've been reading a lot of comments on both sides, and you know the lines are really drawn right now. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on out there. I feel like Donald Trump was being childish. He was being a bully. I also feel like Joe Biden could have came a little stronger. He seemed a little flat. But I do know. let me back up. I am strongly assuming that Joe Biden was trying his best to respect the rules and regulations of a formal debate. He was trying to be the gentleman. He was trying his best to do the debate the proper way, but I do understand why he kind of lost his cool here and there, because I'll just say he's a better man than me. Because to try to get your point across while somebody's constantly interrupting and spewing a bunch of lies and junk, then on top of that, let's just get right into it. See, when you come from my family, now you have crossed the.
See, that's
Okay?
what I was getting.
That should have been off limits. You are coming from my family. See, then they would have said go to commercial.
Go to commercial.
I would have left my podium, and I would have went to go see about it. Let's just leave it at that.
Whole lot of furniture moving.
Yeah, it would have been a real misunderstanding. Nah, you know what? It wouldn't have been a misunderstanding.
It would have been understood. It'd been understood.
It would have been very understood. I just feel like that was a low blow. I feel like President Trump had no morals, no values, but people seem to like that. It's one thing to be loud and boisterous and firm and spitting facts and truth and knowledge and trying to appeal to the masses about the future of America and what you want to do for all of America and not just the rich Americans. And it's another thing to be loud and boisterous and just throw lies out and then undercut people by talking about their families. This is the kind of person a lot of people want for 4 more years. I don't understand it, but I'm not going to keep rambling because I know y'all got something to say, so floor is open. But now if you ain't going to say nothing, I'm going to go. Nah, go ahead, Mike.
Wise man told me years ago, you can't argue with a fool.
What he said?
You can't argue with a fool. It doesn't pay to argue with a fool.
You know why? Because if you argue with a fool, people don't know. I said because if you argue with a fool, a person on the outside looking in don't know which one the fool is.
That's right. Jay-Z said it best. Jay-Z said when you argue with a fool, people from afar don't know who is who.
There you go.
Yeah. That was on the first album. Yeah.
Reasonable doubt.
Yeah, reasonable doubt. For those of you who want to be fact seekers, please go get it. It's a lovely, lovely LP. Lovely, lovely. So many hits, classics even. Can't knock the hustle. That was really one of my favorites. But anyway, go ahead, guys.
but
I don't know what's going on with Mike right now. But
honestly, man, it was basically a clown show. Basically, if you really look at it for what it is, and
I agree.
I really don't understand. I mean, I do understand why people like 45. I do understand because I'm gonna be quite honest with you, because he hasn't done anything to make as his slogans is America great? I mean, all I've seen is bigotry and racism and sexism. That's all I've seen. But I mean, to each his own. To each his own. But back to the debate, it was just a clown show and an embarrassment, because in one side you have a bully that's acting like an abusive husband, acting like an abusive parent. That's how abusers act. On the side of 45, he was acting like an abuser, and of course you're abusing your opponent. But the moderator, Chris Wallace, was taking it. I mean, he was
horrible. He was horrible.
Like he was scared.
Yeah.
And for a moderator, you have to be able to control the room. And once the bully or the abuser knows that he can get you, he or she can overtake you. That's what they're going to do, and that's what happened. And that left whatever you feel about Joe Biden or whatever. You at some point you have to exert yourself, because there's no points being made. There's just a bunch of foolishness. So I have to try to squeeze in information when I can, because I can't do it normally the way a debate should be.
But you know what? The best way, maybe I should say, one of the best ways that I think Biden could have done, and I feel like Roland Martin on this, was to, every time Biden speaks and Agent Orange starts talking, I would stop and just look at him and be like, "Are you done?" Y'all remember that part in the Black Panther when Jabari was sitting up on the throne? He said, "Are you done?
Are you done? Yeah.
Are you done?" That's what I would do.
It just shows.
After a while, he was like a complete imbecile.
Yeah, it just shows how childish the man is.
But people like that. I don't get that.
I don't understand that.
You and I disagree. I don't get how people like this man as a president.
Hold on. I'm getting ready to explain it to you.
Okay.
First of all, it's the racism and the bigotry. That's off top.
Out there.
Yeah, that's off top. That's the first thing, is the racism and the bigotry. Second of all, he's not going to do it to us. He's going to do it to them. Whatever he's going to do, it's not going to be towards us.
It's not going to affect us.
Affect us. He's going to hurt brown people and black people and Asian people. He's not going to do that to us. Little do they know, he don't give a doggone about you either.
Exactly.
He don't care about you. He don't care about you because, first of all, especially poor white folk, he really don't care nothing about you.
And those are some of his staunch.
And those die hardest people.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Let's go back to point A. The racism and the bigotry. Let's get to that. That's what it is. And plus, on top of that, we had 8 years of a black man being president, and they still mad.
And he still talk about that. His whole term, all 45 talk about is 44.
Exactly. And
That's
Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton.
That's it.
So and for me, that's what it boils down to. It boils down to, like I said, the bigotry and the racism. And because if we see at the debate, what's the biggest thing that we're talking about, or most news stations are talking about? Why won't he denounce white supremacy?
Right.
Why won't he do it? Why did he tell the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by?
Yeah, stand down and stand by.
Whatever he said.
Like I said, and I'll say it again. When I took my oath, protect this country from enemies, foreign and domestic, be that what it may. So if you gonna stand down, stand down. Don't stand by, because I'm standing by too. Trust and believe. That's not a threat. I'm just saying.
And that's the other thing about this, as far as, because like I said, there was nothing that we learned about anybody's platform because of 45's repeated breaking of the rules. Okay, you have 2 minutes to talk. I have 2 minutes to talk, and then the moderator will do whatever.
Yeah.
But you use your 2 minutes and over your 2 minutes to spew foolishness and lies and whatever. And then when it's my turn to speak, I can't speak my 2 minutes. So we really didn't learn anything as far as policy was concerned. But we did learn about what type of men these two were.
Yeah.
And if we're going to go off of just manhood strictly, one failed and one passed. I mean, horribly failed, and one passed because maybe not because he was as strong as he should have been, but because the absolute failure of the other man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He had the choice but to win. You know what I'm saying?
He was a shoe-in, as they say.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, it's just like you said, Chad, to see people support this guy. And he doesn't have any policy to stand on.
None.
He doesn't have anything that he can say positive that he's done. I mean, what's so funny about it was the two sides out of the mouth. 1 minute you say that you've done more for black people than any president ever, and then you tell a racist organization to stand down and stand by.
I've done more for you guys than anybody ever will. Hold on, guys. Don't you do anything? Stand right there. Might need you.
But you know what?
Exactly.
This kind of Trump is going from several playbooks, dealing from Ronald Reagan all the way back to President Lyndon B. Johnson. And I apologize to the viewers who are watching this who may have thought for the past minute that I was not engaged. I was looking down at my phone because I was trying to pull this quote up. And this quote kind of sums it up perfectly. It's
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. Speak it.
President Lyndon B. Johnson once said, and I quote, "If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he'll empty his pockets for you." Trump is sending dog whistles to these folks. And it ain't the rich white folks. It's the uneducated poor whites. And he's making it aware that he's on their side, which automatically, subliminally means they're better than us.
Yeah.
Hence the race war. Now, of course, Trump ain't that stupid to come out and say stuff. But if you look at his pattern and what he's been saying and what he's been doing, make America great again. Who did that? Trump. Reagan did that. Reagan did that. What Trump is doing is not new. He's taking plays from various playbooks. Like I said, Reagan, Lyndon B. Johnson, hell, even Hitler.
Yep.
He is creating so much divisiveness. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what? And then, like, the thing is, for our white allies, I would say there's going to be some pressure on them. What am I trying to say? It's going to be some pressure on them because they're going to have to draw a line in the sand. They're the ones who are really going to have to speak up. We've been speaking up. Nobody's been listening to the black and brown people. But for the white folks who seriously and truly cannot tolerate this stupidity and this racism and this segregation, they're the ones who are going to have to stand up to their rich white counterparts and the poor white counterparts and be like, look, we're not standing for this. We're going to be fair across the board to any and everybody who is an American citizen, period, point blank.
Yep.
They're going to have to do that. It's going to come with some backlash and some pressure, but guess what? I don't care. We've been dealing with that for 400 years. So for you to finally step up and deal with it for a little bit, good. Now you see what it. Welcome to the dark side.
Literally. Literally the dark side.
Yeah. Welcome to the dark side. But if we truly want to see change and justice in America, our white allies are really gonna have to step up. They're gonna have to really step up and be more vocal and step out and help us make these changes so that everybody can get a fair shot in this country the way it needs to be. And one more thing, I know we're talking about the debate, but
Gentlemen.
yeah, go ahead. I saw a quick video from a gentleman by the name of Charity Crofton. He was talking about the Constitution, and he really made a good point about why are we taking a over 200-year-old document and trying to apply it to 2020.
Mm-hmm.
The document needs to be amended and updated. You got to remember, when this document was written, it was written by rich, white, land-owning men.
Mm-hmm.
Or rich, white, land-owning men. It was not written for white women. It was not written for blacks and brown people or Asian people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, between the time that the Constitution was written until now, it's only been amended 27 times in over 200 and some odd years. It's only been amended 27 times. So, and then people go all to pieces when you say the Constitution needs to be rewritten. Oh, they go all to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, even the threat of saying that, they feel the power being taken away from them.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, Chad. It's about the relinquishing of power.
Right.
That's what it's about. But again, this debate was an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment. We have it's countries that's laughing at us right now.
Oh yeah, they've been laughing for the last 4 years.
Just big-hearted belly laughs. The
But
one
you know,
kind of laugh that make your stomach hurt.
Yeah. You can't even catch your breath.
I think it was Biden who said that he was somewhere overseas at some kind of convention or whatever, and different people from different countries would walk up to him and laugh and be like, "Now you see how we felt when we had such and such an office. Now you see how we felt when we had such and such an office. Now it's y'all turn. Y'all got it now." And you're right. People are laughing at us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's just a sad day for this country, man. That we're at the point where, man, it's gonna be a lot to clean up.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. Whoever the next president is after this guy, it's good. They're gonna have a lot to clean up.
They're gonna have a lot more than 4 years. Yeah,
it's gonna take a lot more than 4 years, and it's just, man, we're as a country, we're in a bad spot right now. We're in a very bad spot because you have people who are in this cult, and that's what it is. You're in this cult where you have a guy who has shown you who he is, but you don't really care.
Time and time again. No,
you because you don't care because
it's not
you don't want to lose your power of being white, your white power and privilege. You don't want to lose that. So I'll back this guy, whether he grabs women by their coochie, or he got outside babies, or he been married 12 times, or I mean, but what's the funniest thing to me is all of these so-called Christians.
Oh yeah.
All these so-called on their way to heaven anyhow evangelicals. Love this dude. I mean, preachers coming out saying that this dude is God sent. He was sent from God. What God are you serving?
Not the one I serve.
What I mean, honestly, I mean, I was flipping through the channels the other day, and I don't know what little religious channel this was. It wasn't TBN. It was one of them other little offshoots. And they had the nerve to have Roger Stone, of all people, on their broadcast, on their Christian broadcast, saying this, that, and the third about how he saved and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, come on now.
Hey, but
Stop it.
You made a good point about the baby mama, because that's what I want to talk about the debate when Agent Orange lashed out about Biden's son and how he struggled with the addiction, cocaine addiction, and discharged dishonorably, which was not true. by the way. See, I'm the kind of brother, I can be petty. I can clap back. I'm like, you don't really want to talk about family, do you? When your wife can be Googled on the internet showing all her hoo-ha and her titties hugged up on some other chick. You really don't want to talk about family right now.
Call
How
me
many
petty.
you said you was a Christian man, right? How many baby mamas you got?
And how many babies out of wedlock you done
And
had?
how many
Out of,
and let's not talk about Stormy. Stormy, you
I
paid
just,
up. You don't want to talk about family, son.
and it just boggles my mind that some of the I call
Rhetoric.
them, the rhetoric, and I call these like I said, especially these so and so evangelical, these preachers and all this up that's standing up for this dude, and you know his track record. He ain't changing. He ain't gonna change.
No.
Ain't never walked in nobody's church.
But their income changed because as soon as they started singing his tune,
Yeah, and that's all it is. And then you're and I'm sorry to go off on this tangent, but you're leading a flock of people in that same vein.
Yeah.
You leading a flock of people, and they right there with you. Amen, brother. Amen, sister. Hey, come on, man. Stop it. But yeah, that debate was something. Wow.
all right. Well, let's make a right turn. Let's make a right hand turn. There's new information about the Breonna Taylor case. It appears that a juror subpoenaed to have the transcripts released publicly so that everybody could see what Attorney General.
Oh, buddy Cuz.
Oh, buddy Cuz.
Say what?
Oh, buddy Cuz.
Oh, buddy Cuz.
Uncle Ben, what he really said. Because now the juror was like, now what he said out in public is not what was brought to us as jurors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that person did that, because we all he claimed about being transparent. Well, brother, let's be transparent, because this is about to blow up in your face.
Something you said last week, Chad, and we talked about it off air. Was it worth it? Was it worth it, brother? Daniel, I'm talking to you. Was it worth it, Daniel? Was the fetching and stepping worth it?
My Lord.
I mean, really? Because now you have found yourself in a place where you're so stupid. You have found yourself in a place now, Daniel, that those people that you were fetching and stepping for, I can guarantee you can't pick up the phone now and ask for their help.
Now you wanna sing Michael Jackson. You are not alone.
Oh, but he is.
Well, but he is alone. Yeah, you alone. He alone in this one.
Hey, he's in that sucking place.
Yeah, but now you have put yourself in a position that you're probably going to lose your job, because once all of this, the real stuff comes out, and you've already admitted that you didn't ask for serious charges against these officers. You had to admit that you didn't. You had to admit that because this juror pretty much put you on Front Street. Second of all, there's somebody in the Louisville, the police department, that's leaking information.
Well, now my understanding is that the boyfriend's lawyer, allegedly, I don't know this to be true, but this is my understanding. Let me say that on here. I don't want people running back. Chad said, no, this is my understanding by reading this article, that he leaked the video of the cop cam, because the original guys that was on the scene didn't have a body cam.
Right.
It was the integrity unit or something like that came afterwards to process the scene.
Yeah.
It was somebody from them that came in, and it clearly showed that, I think his name was Hackinson, the guy that shot Breonna up, the police that was on the scene originally. Once the integrity unit or whatever they're called comes on the scene, the original officers that were there first have to leave.
Yeah, they were
He
walking
did
through.
not leave. He kept
Mhm.
walking around the apartment talking about where's the gun? Y'all anybody see a long gun? He's looking for a gun. He did not leave the scene. He already violated the processes and procedures. That's off top.
Mhm.
That's off top. And that video was allegedly leaked, allegedly by the boyfriend's lawyer. And he said, I'm not gonna do any more
Okay,
talking.
I apologize for that misquote.
Well,
'Cause
like I
thought
said,
it was
allegedly, because
okay.
allegedly. And allegedly, the boyfriend's lawyer said, I'm not gonna do any more talking. I'm gonna continue to release more information and let the information do the talk. So there's more information out there. And also my understanding is with the award, the settlement, the $12 million, that all these tapes were supposed to be deleted or burned or got rid
They're
of.
destroyed.
But they weren't.
But
Go ahead, Mike.
but on the legal aspect of it, his lawyer had to get copies of that because his lawyer had, because he can file for motion of discovery, which gives your lawyer the same things that the prosecution has.
Right.
So you bet your sweet petunia he didn't burn his up.
Mm-hmm. and then on top of that, the body cam. Now we're finding out from ballistics that possibly the boyfriend didn't shoot the cop.
Right.
They don't
match
up. His ballistics from his gun and bullet don't match up to the officer that got shot. So what's really going on, Daniel?
Things that make you say,
Daniel.
They didn't think this one through.
Daniel, brother, you
on training day.
Yeah, Denzel's not walking through that door. Denzel's not coming to help you.
Yeah.
You know the sad part? They had 6 months to get their story together from the time this thing actually happened until recently. They had 6 months. They were so arrogant, so cocky.
Yes. There it is, right there. That's the word, right there.
They were so arrogant, so cocky, that they never thought a juror would be brave enough to say, hey, you know what? We need to subpoena these records because what he's saying out here in these streets, that's not what was said to us when we were deliberating. We want the records to be public. So with that being said, and that came out, now Daniel is forced to come out, like you said earlier, Pete, and admit that he didn't go for any hard charges against those cops. And I'm willing to bet you that in those transcripts, you won't see nothing of Breonna.
Nah. You see something about the neighbor's house.
Right.
But what's so funny is that I'm really kind of concerned about what's going to be brought out because he has to release the information Friday at noon. He asked for a stay, a longer process.
Continuance.
Because until a later date, he got to him yesterday. So it switched from him having to drop it yesterday to Friday at noon. So I'm just afraid of what they're going to try to scrub out of, or try to scrub out of the information that they're going to bring to the people.
Right. Well, my concern is, why do you need another 48 hours or 24 hours to produce something? It's already produced.
It's already there.
Exactly. Yeah, and Breonna's lawyer and the boyfriend's lawyer are like, nah, you need to release all of that. Unedited. Unredacted. Yeah, unredacted, unedited. You need to release all of that. I mean, outside of, say phone numbers and stuff like that, everything else, it should be on the table. You shouldn't be able to redact anything. So that's my only concern about what information that will be released on Friday. But again, Daniel, yeah, you out here by yourself, brother. You out here by yourself, and what you did, you knew you was wrong.
Yeah,
Daniel, you knew you was wrong. And like we were speaking about last week, you had an opportunity to
be the voice.
Well, not really be a voice, because that's not his job to be a voice, but you had an opportunity to set something straight in the community. You had something on your desk. If you do it properly, and you know what was right. And if you do the right thing, things change.
That's right.
Things change. Police are held accountable for one time. Police will be held accountable for the things that they do to the people that look like you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will get mad at me. They're trying to make this a racial thing. He's going by the law. No, he's not. When you are omitting facts, that means you're covering up. That's not lawful. Because to be lawful is to present everything, which means the cops was out of line because they had the wrong place.
Off the rip.
Number two, the person they allegedly was looking for was already locked up. So they already jacked up.
Yeah, they already knew. You hold on. You telling me, Chad, you know
I'm
that
not telling you, they telling you.
Okay, that you know you got the person locked up that you looking for, and you still give the no-knock warrant? What's that about? What were they? My question is, what were they really looking for?
Yeah.
What were they?
What was the motive?
What was the motive? Because now we found out yesterday, in a report I read yesterday, because they said she was getting mysterious packages delivered to her home. Read yesterday, there was no such thing. They had no records. See, people are starting to talk now. Right. There was no records of when they're going behind the investigation. There were no records of any mysterious packages being sent to her house at any point.
Because the more things they try to cover up, the more they incriminate innocent people. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't going for it.
And so now we find out the reason you say that you were going there was not the case. It wasn't for the ex-boyfriend because he was locked up. You were at the wrong house. Now they're saying that these mysterious packages that you said were being sent to her home is not the case.
No record.
What do we stand? Why were you there? Were you trying to get money? Were you trying to get what were you there? Why were you there?
What I read also was Hankinson, I think the cop that was charged, he has had run-ins with the current boyfriend from before. He's had previous run-ins with this guy before.
Oh, so they already have a relationship with one another.
Oh, Lord.
So they even had a scuffle one time over the same chick.
What? Oh, this thing done turned personal.
And there you go. So when people talk to me about, oh, this y'all just trying to make this ain't racial. This is about a cover-up, ladies and gentlemen. This is about a cover-up because when Daniel was running, he already said he's going to do everything he can. And I'm paraphrasing, okay? Don't come back to me talking about, he said, I'm paraphrasing. Basically, he's saying he's going to do everything to uphold and protect the police. He's in bed with the police.
Well, he is the top cop. He is the attorney general, so he is the top cop. So,
yeah.
but what I'm saying is, Pete, you can still be the top cop and still be fair.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but a lot of these AGs are in it for the police. I mean, you look at the top cop. You look at Bill Barr and the foolishness that he's doing. Yeah. So I mean, they work hand in hand, and it's just a shame. Not only Daniel Cameron, but other attorney generals and other people that lead police chiefs that would rather, instead of doing the right thing, would rather cover up murder, manslaughter, attempted murder. You would rather cover that up to save your thin blue line. Or blue line, whatever you call that foolishness.
Or to keep your title.
Yeah. Instead of doing the right thing. That's why they are not trusted in the black community. Mm-hmm. You're not trusted.
That's why I say.
Can't trust it.
Exactly.
Don't trust the AG, listen to the OGs. Because the OGs will tell you.
I don't know what Mike is on right now. What Mike is on right now. I don't know if it's a
but again, I want to look at Daniel. Daniel, was it worth it? Because
was it worth it, Daniel?
Yeah, because you're lose your job. You're getting ready. Either you're going to get voted out or you're going to resign. One of the two.
Daniel, you was in the lion's den. and you had a chance to pray to God for help and have God come take care of you.
But no,
But no.
no.
You girl to get add up. Bottom
Head
line,
up.
add up.
You
Not ate
running
up, add
around.
up.
You running around with a stake tied to your back, Daniel. The lion is coming.
Public enemy number one.
Yes, sir.
Bruh. Yeah, but yeah, man, it's just it's sad, man, that that well, not really sad because he brought it on himself.
Yeah.
That
It's
black
sad
man
for
that
Breonna Taylor's family because now the
yeah,
scab is being picked apart again because now we got to go back into it
yeah, and revisit.
allowing them to heal. But it's
Yeah.
a good thing too because all they wanted was justice for their daughter. I don't even
That's
think they
it.
cared about the 12 million. They just wanted accountability.
Accountability. That's all. That's all.
That's it.
Just be held. Just have those men be held accountable.
That's it.
Just like you, the Somalian officer in Minnesota was held accountable.
Sure
That's
was.
why he said. That's why he's sitting on them 12 years because he shot that white woman.
What about Blue Lives though?
Yeah. What about Blue Lives? Yeah. It don't happen. It don't work.
It don't happen with black lives.
It don't happen with black cops.
No, sir.
Yeah, because didn't nobody come to his defense. Nobody.
No, sir. Not
He
even
took
the
them-
union rep.
Yeah. They look. You gonna have to do them 12. You gonna have to do them 12, partner.
Got to take one for the
Be
team.
example, bro.
You got to be the example. Yeah. Of all the times that we needed to be held accountable, then when we didn't, it's all gonna fall on you, brother.
It's all gonna fall on you. The token.
Yeah, you gonna take them 12. Take them 12, and we'll see you later.
Ain't but a dozen.
It ain't but it does.
We'll be here when you get out.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. It's a lot of things are really. This is really good to explode again. It really is because the covers are being peeled back on this case, and Daniel Cameron is just gonna have to take this one. And I'm just really interested what is going to be released on Friday. Really interested to see what's going to be released.
Well, Daniel, in the words of P. Diddy, take that.
That's what he said.
Words of Boys the Men. It's so hard to say goodbye.
Yeah. Yesterday.
Daniel.
to
yesterday.
And once again, with Boys to Men, you are at the end of your road, bro.
What'd you say, Mike?
Once again, with Boys to Men, you are at the end of your road.
Oh my God.
But one thing I will tell you this.
Huh?
A heart is a house of love.
And that's love. That it don't take much to break.
Get up. Doug, do the steps. What you doing?
Hey,
That's my
Hey,
song, JT.
hey, Dad. You want my spot?
You can't have my
Try
spot.
to riff like me. You try to sing like me. Well, you ain't got it. You ain't gonna get it.
You can't get it because you ain't got it.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
I still got it. Y'all look.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey,
my
Dad, you
goodness.
my call. Call me sometime.
Yeah.
Do I look like I got a number, man?
Hold on, Envy, I'm coming.
Oh gosh.
That's my favorite movie of all time. Anybody got any final comments, concerns, questions? Before y'all say anything, I just want to tell the viewers and listeners, please, guys, if you like these segments that we give out every week, because we really put a lot of time into the quality of the content that we put out in the format, please give us some hearts, like the channel, subscribe to it. If you got some comments, please give us some comments on the YouTube page, the Facebook page, the Instagram. We'd love to hear from you guys. We really would.
No doubt.
Comments, concerns, questions, guys? Anything?
Another good one. We always say this. We appreciate you for listening and watching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And remember, be that light in somebody's life.
Mike messed me up right there. I thought you were gonna say something crazy.
No. I want to say something positive.
He finally dropped something on me. All right, we go in with the Bible verse of thought for the day, and we're coming from Isaiah 25, verse number 1, and it reads, "O Lord, I will honor and praise your name, for you are my God. You do so much wonderful things. You planned them long ago, and now you have accomplished them." So, folks, regardless of what you see in this physical world, trust and understand that basically God is in control.
Oh, yeah.
God is in control.
Believe that.
So don't let your own understanding, but instead of worrying about everything, pray about everything. Let God do the concerns, and I promise you, he will take care.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's our show for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our ways. Be blessed, be safe, and we are out.
Peace.
If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when a new show drops. Please rate and review this podcast and share it with your friends. Also, if you'd like to advertise or become a sponsor, please send an email to ourvoice360@gmail.com with your inquiry. We'll connect with you as soon as possible in hopes of creating a great partnership. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. See you next week.